Yeah, opening statement. Wow. Let me think here. You know, we didn't give them a whole lot. I think we hit them 3 times and walked them once. They got 15 hits, and you know, they did most of the damage early. They put together a great first inning. I mean, it's like we couldn't get that third out. Gackle made some mistakes, man. He hung a couple breaking balls, and one of them left the park, one of them hit the wall, a couple of base hits, and I mean, give them credit. They came out on fire, and they had a plan, and they did it. And we found ourselves down 5-0, and then, you know, cut into the lead with a 2-out homer, and that was kind of nice to score a run there. And then, you know, we gave it right back to him, I think, with 4. And then we put together a really good inning. I'm not sure how many hits we had in that inning. You know, they really didn't give us a whole lot. They did throw a ball into the back of one of our runners, and our son got in the way or something happened there. But for the most part, you know, we took our walks. We laid off some borderline pitches, and obviously got a couple of big hits that drove in some runs, and you know, took the lead there, and then just held it. You know, I mean, I guess depending on what kind of game you like, it was kind of a good game, I guess, if you're a fan. Maybe not so much as you're a coach. You're kind of thinking, yeah. I mean, even when we got the lead, I'm thinking, wow, you know, I wasn't used to seeing that happen to Gackle, and that's concerning because I know I'm going to get asked that question. But more than anything, he was just up. He's up in the zone. He wasn't spotting his pitches, and you know, he made a couple of good pitches early, and then he'd leave something in the zone. They'd hammer it. If he made a mistake early, they hit it, and you know, we need to get him on track.
Is there anything other than location maybe that you want Gackle to learn from this start?
Well, you know, he gave up a couple of 2-out hits, or excuse me, 2 strike hits that were, I think one of them left the yard, and there might have been 2 or 3 of them. And it's just, you know, with 2 strikes, you got to be on the edge or you got to be off the plate, and he knows that. I just think didn't have a good day. You know, he didn't have a great day last weekend, and you know, opening weekend it was pretty good, but it was cold, and you know, he'll get another start before we open conference, and hopefully it'll be a good one.
You guys have had some comeback victories already this year, but obviously this one a little bit bigger of a comeback. Do you feel like every season maybe you kind of need a game like this, a win like that, to build maybe some confidence and belief that no matter what the score is, you're still there?
Yeah, it's like I told the team, we were down 8 or 9-1, and I still thought we had a chance to win because I think we'd only hit 3 times. We had at least 6 more at bats. I know we've got a good offense. You know, you get down like that and the wind's blowing straight in, it makes it a little more difficult. You know, because a lot of times you have to win with a grand slam home run or get back in the game with a big swing. But yeah, I think when you come back and when you're kind of getting it handed to you, and they're getting you out pretty quick, and you find a way to put together, you know, an inning where you score 10 runs in an inning, that's hard to do. You know, it's like I told the team, you got to have a few things go your way. You got to hit the ball where they're not. You got to have a walk or 2, maybe an air mixed in there, and you know, we just did a great job of laying off some borderline pitches, and we took our walks, we got our hits, and you know, I think about, you know, a couple opposite field hits. You know, I think Maxwell had a single to left, and he's a left-handed hitter, and I think Kozel had a single to left, and he took both of them were against, I think might have been left on left, and just going the other way, just trying to get the next guy to the plate. That's what you're trying to do when you're losing like that. You're not just sitting on a dead red pitch. You've got to have a plan, and I thought they all did a great job.
How big was one of the hits you didn't mention there was Rocco, the double down the line? I mean, bases loaded, a ground ball could end the inning, and a guy that maybe got off to a slow start really comes through for you there.
Yeah, he you know, he's pinch hitter, and we just went with the matchup there a little bit, and he got down in the count pretty quick. I think he was down 0-2 or 1-2, and then I don't know if he fouled off a pitch or 2, but you know, he hit that ball down the line, and that was a big swing for us. All of a sudden, you start to see some life. You know, we're cut into it at the time. Then we were down maybe, I don't know, 6 with with runners out there. And sometimes, a home run right there, it kills your rally. We needed a big rally. I like singles and doubles and walks, and, you like to finish it with a homer. And Cahillo almost did it. The wind's not blowing in like that over there. That ball probably travels out of the park, and he cleared him with a double off the top of the wall, and we ended up scoring a couple of runs after that, I think. So, just a really big inning. It was good to have us hang out in the dugout for a long time and have their pitcher just sitting over there.
You never probably expect to score 10 in an inning, but did you have a feeling going into the fourth that y'all were about to get it going? You got the home run in the previous inning. Was there a good feeling in the dugout at that point?
Well, I don't think there was panic in the dugout. I think that we feel like this team can score. Again, we didn't feel like we could get them all in one inning, but we still had 6 at bats, and so I mean, yeah, we thought we were going to score. We just didn't think we'd score that many. You just look for a couple here and a couple there. You sneak back up on them, and then you get them late in the game. It was kind of a strange game. If you tell me we were down that far and we come back and win the game, and I didn't see the game, I'm going to think we beat them late, 8th, 9th, we out whatever to beat them. But it's like the game going into the 5th just totally changed. All of a sudden, the bullpens for both teams just did a tremendous job. Sometimes at 5 o'clock, 4:30, it's tough to see a little bit out there as well. Pitchers have a little bit of an advantage with that shadow, but I just think the pitchers for both teams threw a lot of strikes and did a nice job to finish it up.
Going back to Gackle, last week it seemed like he struggled throwing strikes. Today he caught a lot of the plate and they hit him hard. Well, was there something different that he did, or is he battling something specific?
He's not hurt or anything. I think he's just, I'm sure his confidence needs a little boost, and the only way you can do that is go out and have a good outing, have a good inning, and hopefully that'll be next weekend.
Was there any thought taking him out earlier, or did you like what you saw in the 2nd and 3rd inning? Or
Yeah, we were. He threw 29 pitches in the 1st inning, I think, and then not quite as many after that. And we definitely wanted to get his his pitch count up, because I'm going to use him as a starter. If he didn't do it in a real game, he's got to go down the bullpen and do it. And yeah, we thought about it there in the 2nd a little bit when I don't know if it got off to a good start then or what inning that was, but yeah, it was just a little bit of lack of command. His stuff was pretty good. The breaking ball, it didn't have the bite that it normally has. That's kind of what I saw from the side.
They hit 2 to the track in the 2nd inning, I think, to center field. Is that right? Off of him. I think it was a 1-2-3 inning, right? But 2 of them to the track.
Yeah, because they were pitches that he missed his spot, and I think he was ahead in the count. And you're kind of like, wow, hopefully you can get it together. We don't want to get in your bullpen that early on a Friday, and you can win a series on Friday if you can get the other team's bullpen, you beat them, and then you get their bullpen all used up. You're probably going to get them before the next 2 days are over.
Did Pepe start to pinch hit for someone else? Was I seeing things?
No, there was miscommunication there, not between me and Pepe, but somebody else. And I had Pepe hitting for Souza. I'll leave it at that.
Hey, Dave, it feels like these types of wins, you learn a lot about your team.
Yeah,
what do you feel like you learned?
I told you this team's pretty tough. Early I like the makeup of the team, and they have a little bit of an attitude, and they're very confident, and they're talented. But yeah, when we came back and won the first game of the year, and kind of let the lead slip away, and then I didn't see anybody panicking there, and we came back and punched in a couple. They gave it to us, but we took it. Still had to earn it, and same today. Now you get into the 7th or 8th, you're down 8 runs. It makes it a little more difficult, but we had time, and they're pretty fearless. They feel like we can do it.
Coyle went 6 up, 6 down for you. Just what have you seen from him so far early this season?
Well, he's been really good because he comes in and he pitches to both sides of the plate. He'll throw the cutter away to the right-hander, and they're frustrated. They feel like it's outside, and it cuts back over. He'll throw it, into the right-handers as well, and he'll get some ground balls to third, as you see, or some foul balls. But I really like the way he finished the last hitter off with his fastball in the inner half. Had him leaning out over the plate for that cutter and just busted him in and froze him, and so he's been really good for us. And as a staff, you're thinking about what you're trying to do You got to have guys that you have confidence in. They're going to come in and throw it over the plate. And if you get beat, the other team's going to have to earn it. You know, we're not going to walk him, so to speak. And he's done a tremendous job.
And what did you think of the way Fouch finished it off? Got a little shaky there at the back-to-back hit batters, but he got out of it.
Stuff was really good. You know, the first 2 pitches he threw, he couldn't have thrown them any better. Down and away, knee high at about, I don't know, upper 90s. I try not to look at the board. That's what it looked like. And then he, you know, maybe missed a little bit with the 3rd pitch and got it in on him. Still hit it decent to right, and then obviously he hits the next guy. Is that my phone? Probably. Anyway, yeah, it's you know, he hits the next hitter and the next hitter. And then, you know, he got the next hitter out, and he struck him out with a slider. That was the only slider he threw. So that was a big-time pitch. And we were told down in the pen that it was really good down there. So, and it looked really good. And obviously the hitter thought it was a fastball. And it was down and away, and he missed it by a lot. And I think if he needed to throw it to the last hitter, he felt like he needed to, he would. But he got that sinker going. That you know, his fastball's got a lot of sink on it, and you know, kind of jammed that last hitter.
It was really fun. It was kind of showed like how resilient this team is, and like the fight that we have, and being able to never give up, and we're never out of a game. So I think it's good for us to know that, you know, we're never out of anything, and you know, we can always come back and get back in the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of the crazier games that I've been a part of during my time here, especially the first inning. But it was kind of going back to what Max just said. It's a good testament to this team, just how we fight, how we come together. I don't think anyone on the team thinks one moment's too big for one another, or you know, if one spot seems too great to overcome. I feel like that we all stick together pretty well, and we know what we're good at, and just kind of stick to the game plan.
When you're in the middle of a big inning like that, I mean, just what's the mindset when you go to the plate, knowing that you're trying to keep that train going?
Yeah, it's not really so much that I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying to do the best to pass the baton to the next guy. So whether it's get a walk or, you know, hit by a pitch or get a big hit, we're just trying to pass the baton and keep the inning going, no matter what it is.
Logan, I know one thing you wanted to work on coming into this season was your power. How did it feel to get your first home run, and maybe what were you looking for if you walked through that at bat?
Yeah, it felt really good. You know, the last week or two, I feel like I've been late on off speed and heaters, and being able to, you know, stay on a ball and pull it, get the head out. It felt really good. You know, I was just going up there trying to see a ball up and be on time. You know, and right, we're down 9-1, 8-1. You know, I'm just trying to pass the baton to the next guy, and you know, kind of did that job right there.
Have you ever had 2 RBI hits in the same inning before?
I think that was the first.
Parker, you know, we've heard all about kind of your improvement and, you know, how well you kind of pitched in the summer and in the fall. What's been the biggest difference for you from maybe last spring to where you are now?
Yeah, I'd just say confidence. Just feel very confident up there. Just really trusting in my ability a lot more. Just kind of, you know, knowing all the work that I've put in up until this point. Just going back to what I just said, just trusting it really. Just knowing that I can do it, knowing that, you know, this is something that I want to do, and that this is something I've been working for a very long time. So it's really just having the confidence and trusting in my ability.
And for both of you guys, I know, you know, you go down 9-1. That's shocking, right? But was it a little extra shockwave to the system that it came against Gabe? And, you know, I mean, how was it maybe a little more difficult in the dugout when it comes against your ace like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, it's never easy to see your starter go out there and get knocked around kind of like Gabe did. And, you know, definitely we didn't expect it. You know, we have all the faith in Gabe, and we know what he can do, and we have all the confidence in him. It was, if anything, it's more of kind of just like a chip on the shoulder. You know, Gabe goes out there. He's obviously really good, best arm that we have. And, you know, he gets knocked around a little bit. It's just you kind of look at each other and you're like, all right, like it's time to hunker down, kind of go out there and really just start bringing it to them, kind of like avenge Gabe in a sense, like kind of get your get back for him. So, yeah.
Hey, on the subject of Gabe, you know, when last week it was walks, today it was hard hits against him. As a pitcher, is there any solace that you take in knowing that it wasn't the same thing 2 weeks in a row?
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of look at it however you want to look at it. You know, I'm sure Gabe's pretty pissed off about what happened, so you know, I kind of feel bad for Portland next week. You know, when he gets up there on the mound, but you know, you can look at it however you want to, but I think that it's just he's going to look at it. You know, maybe it's one thing, maybe it's another, but I think he's going to get back to doing what he does.
Logan, how do you feel playing in the field right now?
I feel really good. My hamstrings feels good right now. I think it's better right now to be able to play the field and keep it moving instead of staying in the dugout and, you know, let it sit for a little bit and then have to go run. But I feel really good.
Like in terms of when it was at its worst, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, how far do you feel like you've come?
I think I'm probably 95%. Probably really close to 100%. It's more like a trust factor than it is the injury. Being able to just like let it rip and, you know, be able to trust that it's not going to, you know, strain again or whatever the injury was.
Cahill is now batting 550. As a, you know, when you guys saw him in the spring and it was, you know, the exit velo really stood out and the power. I mean, could you imagine this hot of a start just from an average perspective from him? And what's it like kind of watching him in his groove right now?
It's unbelievable, actually. I don't think we're like really worried about the average. He's just trying to go and get his swing off, and we know what he can do when he gets it off, and you know he's not really missing anything right now. So it's pretty spectacular to watch right now.